Happy Friday, all Miami Dolphins fans, and thank you for watching Week 8 of the Dolphins Talk Gambling Corner. I am Mike, joined as always by Tom Ernest, and this week's show brought to you by BetUS. Everyone go to BetUS, use the promo code Dolphins Talk, and get a 125% sign-on bonus. So, Tom had a good week last week, went 5-1. I went 3-3, and we are almost deadlocked on the season here at 23-15-1 for me, 22-16-1 for Tom. And I got to be honest, the college games this week, I could have picked 5 or 6 of them. I loved them.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of strong games.
There's a lot of strong games in the pros. The NFL stinks. Betting the NFL is like just handing away money because it is tough to find 3 good ones, let alone a couple. But we're going to start. And I'm going to start with straight out of the bat, my stone cold lead pipe lock of the week. And folks, bet your mortgage on it. It is Ohio State minus 21 over Indiana. And here's why. Ohio State lost to Oregon early in the year. Since then, they've played 4 games. In those 4 games, they have scored 41, 59, 52, and 66. To quote a line from the movie The Blues Brothers, they're on a mission from God. And they are just going to blow out everyone till they get to that playoffs in the Final Four. On the flip side, Indiana stinks on toast. Their last 3 games, Indiana almost lost to Western Kentucky. Not Kentucky, Western Kentucky. Then they scored 0 points, and they scored 15 last week.
Oh,
so you got one team scoring over 60 most weeks, or between 50 and 60, and you got another team who struggles to score 2 touchdowns. I didn't got to be a math major to know Ohio State minus 21 over Indiana as my stone cold lead pipe lock of the week. Game number 2 is Virginia minus 6.5 over Georgia Tech. And there's a lot here, so let's unpack it. Number 1, Virginia is number 5 in the nation in total offense, having over 525 yards a game. Their quarterback has thrown for over 300 yards in every game except for 1 this year. He has on the season 19 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Virginia is legit. Their offense is creme de la creme, as they say. Mwah! Now, they're not so hot on defense, but I'm not going to worry about that because Georgia Tech is the most erratic team in probably all of college football. 1 week they look pretty good, and the next week they look like they never played the sport before. And each game this year, they've gone 1 loss, 1 loss, 1 loss. And guess what? They won last week, which means they're due for a loss. And this is only a 6.5 point spread. Virginia is as solid as they come, and they're a very good team. They're going to score their points. They blew out Duke last week 48-0. I think they're going to get between 35 and 40 points here. In Georgia Tech, up and down in the season, up and down in games. They'll get you about 20-24. Virginia will cover the 6.5 here easy. It's just I have not a lot of faith in Georgia Tech. And my last pick is my ACC Game of the Year. That's right. And not a surprise here because when you got someone down and they're not very good, you keep betting against them. NC State minus 3.5 over the Miami Hurricanes for obvious reasons. Number 1, NC State on defense. Number 1 in the nation on third down. NC State on total defense. Number 1 in the ACC. NC State's quarterback, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And here's the flip side for Miami. They have 0 wins this year over a Power 5 team, and their quarterback is Tyler Van Dyke. So NC State will feast on defense, and their quarterback doesn't turn it over and throws a lot of touchdowns. Again, don't need to be Albert Einstein to figure out how this game's going to play out. NC State minus 3.5. It's going to be a layup. Miami, they can't tackle anybody. I could run with the ball, and I'd probably break at least 1 or 2 tackles. They tackle nobody, and the offense struggles. I know they were pretty good last week, but North Carolina's not so hot. So I have no faith in their offense, especially against this defense, which is just unreal. NC State minus 3.5. So Ohio State minus 21, Virginia minus 6.5, NC State minus 3.5 are your 3 college plays from me.
All right, let's jump in. I'm 100% with you, Mike, on the stone cold lead pipe lock of the week. It's Ohio State over Indiana, and like exactly what you said, I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. Ohio State's the number 1 offense ranked in the entire country, averaging 48.5 points per game, where Indiana's defense is ranked 75th, giving up just about 27 points per game. What does that mean? Ohio State's going to put up points, and they're going to put them up fast, and this game should be more than covered before the end of the third quarter. That's how quickly this game is going to get out of control in Indiana. The next game that I took, it's more along the lines of Iowa State's a good football team. Oklahoma State hasn't lost a game. They haven't lost a game yet. And they're getting a full touchdown against a conference opponent on the road. The last time Oklahoma State was a road dog in the conference game, they won the game. This doesn't make any sense to me. I like Oklahoma State +7, being the fact that they're undefeated. They should cover a touchdown in this game. And my favorite game of the weekend, and it's going to be an absolute shootout, is LSU and Ole Miss. You're going to want to take that over. You're going to want to take that over. Ole Miss is one of the top 10 teams in the country when it comes to offense. LSU is no slack either, and both defenses are atrocious. This game is going to be fun to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing goes over 100 combined points in the game. So to recap, it's Ohio State -21 over Indiana, Oklahoma State +7 over Iowa State, and the over of 76.5 for LSU and Ole Miss. That is my 3 college games this weekend.
Yes, and that leads us to BetUS. Hey guys, sports betting season is in full force. As we know, with the NBA back, Major League Baseball playoffs, the NCAA college football, and of course, NFL betting season upon us. You may already know this, but BetUS have been the pioneers in the sportsbook industry for almost 3 decades, thriving and paying their loyal customer base. That is BetUS.com. They have loads of bonuses. Join now or call 800-69-BET-US. That's 800-MY-BET-US. You'll receive 125% sign-on bonus using the promo code Dolphins Talk. They have re-up and refill bonuses also. BetUS is known as America's favorite sportsbook for a lot of reasons. BetUS has all of your Major League Baseball, NFL, and NFL games with team and player props and loads of NFL futures and NFL odds up already. You can bet UFC matches and props, PGA golf, and round matchups, live betting on most sports, including golf. The online casino has hundreds of games, and the racebook has all of your horse tracks. They have every bet type imaginable, and the sharp BetUS mobile platform is easy with full betting options. Follow my lead and get your phone, online, social sports betting partner with integrity and longevity like I did. BetUS, you bet, you win, you get paid. All right. So it's time where we go to our NFL picks now. And Trish trying to get the graphic off the board here. So here we go. All right. Time for the NFL. And this week in the NFL, starting off with what I think is an easy one, and that is the Green Bay Packers -8 over the Washington football team. The Washington football team stinks. They have lost 3 out of their last 4. They really haven't been competitive most weeks. They are off the tracks. And on the other side, you have Aaron Rodgers. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Lay the 8 points. Green Bay at home ain't going to lose, and they're going to win by more than 8. It's just easy. Game number 2, and I might regret this, but I'm sorry, this is still the NFL. And 16 points is a lot of points in the NFL. I don't care who the 2 teams are. Detroit ain't going to win this game, but I think they'll keep it within 16, or at worst, it's a backdoor cover. So, 16, like I said, it's a lot. And I know the Lions aren't very good, and the Rams, might be headed to the Super Bowl, which I actually think they will. But give me the Lions +16. I just think it's too many points in the NFL. I mean, that's a lot of points. I don't care who the sides are. And for my third game, we have, Tom, what we call an upset special. We haven't had an upset special in a while, but we have an upset special. And call me crazy, and come Sunday at like 4, I might be hating myself. But for 1 week only, and maybe probably the last time all year, and possibly Tua Tagovailoa's final game as a member of the Dolphins, give me the Miami Dolphins +2.5 over the Atlanta Falcons. Here's why. The Dolphins can't lose them all. They're bound to win one of these games. Atlanta's terrible on defense. They are brutal on defense. And I think one of these weeks, the Dolphins are going to just get sick and tired of losing and take it out on somebody. It won't be next week versus the Bills. It ain't going to be at home against the Ravens. It's either going to be this week versus Atlanta or when they're home against Houston. And I'm putting all my chips in the middle. It's going to be this week against Atlanta. I just think Atlanta's terrible on defense. The Dolphins will actually score this week, I think, and score touchdowns. The flip side, yeah, Matt Ryan, Ridley, and Pitts, they're going to score too. So that's why I have a little fear here. They're going to get their points because Miami clearly can't stop anybody either. But I think the Dolphins win this game. They're getting 2.5. So I'm getting points here. I wouldn't take them on the money line because I don't trust them that much. But plus 2.5. Give me the Dolphins and what could be Tua's sayonara game in Miami for all we know. I think the Dolphins cover, and I think they'll probably win, but to play it safe, just take the 2.5.
Yeah, I hope so. We need a win. We need to win bad. I'm going to start in the AFC East, Mike. What do you get when you have two rookie quarterbacks starting against each other against two very good defenses? What do you get?
Snooze fest.
That's right. So the Jets and Patriots are going to go under 42.5. Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, he's had his moments this season. And when I say moments, you can probably fit it on one hand. He's going against Bill Belichick's defense. Bill Belichick's defense typically does pretty well against rookie quarterbacks. And Mac Jones has been, again, he's had his moments as well, more than Zach Wilson. But this team, this Patriots defense is going to make life hell. And I don't expect a lot of scoring. I expect like a 21-13, 21-10, 24-10 final. This is going to be an absolute snooze fest. Take the under, 42.5. Tampa Bay giving almost 2 touchdowns to Chicago. Chicago is banged up. They still don't have a starting running back. Damian Williams may not be back. He may not be off the COVID list come tomorrow, which means it's Khalil Herbert again. And I don't care if Gronk's out. I don't care if a long laundry list of guys are out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are going to blow the doors off the Chicago Bears at home. Give me Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, each getting touchdowns, and Tom Brady throwing for at least 4 on this very suspect Bears defense. The Bucs are going to cover 13. Last but not least, Mike, who is running the football the best in the NFL right now?
That would be Derrick Henry.
That's right. And the Tennessee Titans did just defeat the Buffalo Bills. So what is the reason that they're 4.5-point dogs at home? Oh, it's because it's the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are struggling this year, folks. They are not the same old Kansas City Chiefs. And Derrick Henry is going to have a field day against the Chiefs. Will the Titans win outright? It's debatable. But getting more than a field goal at home, I'm going to take Derrick Henry, and I'm going to, just like Ryan Tannehill, I'm going to ride that horse all the way to the finish line with 4.5 points. So give me the Titans. To recap the snooze fest of the AFC East, under 42.5 with the Jets and Patriots, the Bucs covering 13 against the Bears, and the Titans covering 4.5 against the Chiefs.
Yep, and that's all for this week's picks. I will say this, just a bit of advice, because each week we come on here and we have fun with our picks, but just a friendly bit of advice. If you really want to win money this year placing bets, avoid the NFL at all costs, because NFL games are very volatile. They're very up and down each week. Yeah. Trying to pick these winners in the NFL, it's really a challenge most weeks. This week I found 3 games to bet. Honestly, I really only love one of them. If you are truly interested in making money, college football Saturdays is where you are going to make money. Yep. We just give out 3. I have a 4th I'll toss in, although it's not going to count on the record. Utah -3 against Oregon State is another solid one. There are so many good college games to bet each week. It's scary. This year, I've had a lot of success in real life, putting down real money on this stuff, not having fun here. A friendly bit of advice. If you're serious into sports betting, especially into college and pro football, I'm telling you right now, college football is where you make your hay. The NFL, we all love to watch NFL with our fantasy football and, of course, our Miami Dolphins if you're probably watching this. But at the end of the day, if you want to make money, Saturday is the day, because there are so many good lines and so many more favorable matchups to you, the better. than there is on a Sunday. On Saturday, you the better are in a more advantageous place to make money. On Sunday, it's a lot of luck involved because it's really a crapshoot because you see these lines like Lions plus 16. The Rams might be up by 24 and start yanking guys out. Next thing you know, Lions lose by 10. It was never a game, but it's tough. You don't see that in college because in college, these coaches run it up every week. They do not call off the dogs ever. So if you got a bigger line, you have no fear because they will run it up on anybody and everybody. They never call off the dogs. So that's where you make your monies on Saturdays. Just a friendly bit of advice here. And we'll see. So everyone have a great week. Have a great weekend.
Make some money with us.
Make some money. Have a little fun. You want to spruce up if you want to spruce up a Saturday or Sunday, put a few bucks on these games, and trust me, your attention will be diverted to a TV or smartphone watching the scores update. I promise you. And if you bet a little bit more than probably you should, your that's a high like you've never experienced. So everyone have a great day, and we'll talk to you again next week.
See ya.